listening to The Gender Rebels.
I'm Kathleen, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Gender Rebels is a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
A big thanks to our Patreon supporters.
If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/genderrebels. Hey everyone, I'm Kath.
And I am Faith.
Faith, do we have any patrons to thank?
We have some amazingly fantabulicious patrons to thank.
Fantabulicious. Let's hear them.
Fantabulicious and fantastical tolemolatist.
I wasn't sure you would be able to end that word, but you pulled it out in the end, and I'm really pleased.
Fantabulicious people. Will, you're awesome. You are a patron as of 1:21 p.m. today.
Will,
Thank
you are not a pill.
Yep. Allison K.
Allison K is going my way.
Fantastic. January 29th. It's been a while. Sorry, we are thanking you now, but we have appreciated you all this time. Ross A. or Roz A.
Ross A. or Roz A. Let's go outside and play.
There you go. Riley T. or Riley TM. You know who you are. And you're fun. And I like the name Riley. It's nice.
Riley T. is a busy bee.
Yep. And Trevor B. Can't rhyme that one with B.
Good thing I used that already.
Rhyme it with Trevor. What rhymes with Trevor? I got one.
Go.
Lever.
Make a little rhyme for Trevor.
Trevor. With a fulcrum and a lever.
Okay.
How was that?
A fulcrum and a lever. Yeah.
Good.
Because I feel like Trevor has both of those things.
Hmm?
But only Trevor knows for sure.
So we really appreciate you guys following us. That is fantastic, and we really appreciate it.
It's like
great.
literally life affirming. We really, really do appreciate it.
Do you know that Kath has said that this podcast is the best thing she's ever done with her life?
This is true. I have. And it just occurred to me that if anyone is listening who does not like this podcast very much, they think horrible things about me now.
I agree that I think this might also be the best thing I've ever done with my life.
It's literally the greatest thing. Like, I've done some good things, too. But, yeah, this is it. And it's for you guys. And thank you for giving us this opportunity. Yeah. No joke. Once in a lifetime.
Can I just say one quick thing, and we're not going to belabor this point? But I do feel like our fans and the people who listen, and who have been listening for years are owed a little bit of an explanation. So in 1 year, I have managed to pack in a legal battle and 3 gender-affirming surgeries with varying levels of recovery time. And that's been a lot. And that's been taking up a lot of my emotional capacity. And it's been really hard. It's been hard to keep myself going and to keep myself kind of afloat. And so doing the podcast also kind of takes up that same psychic energy that I'm using to take care of myself. And I had stretched myself way, way too thin. And so that's kind of why I kind of, as much as Kath wanted to keep doing weekly episodes, I was the one who had to be like, can we please take a break and just let me get through this year?
You were dealing with stuff. You are dealing
I'm still dealing with stuff, and I still want to record because I love our people and I love our audience, and I don't want to leave you guys hanging. But I also just want to give you it straight and just say,
here's why we left you hanging.
Here's why we left you hanging. And it's not because we don't give a shit. It's because
we constantly give a shit.
Multiple times a day. I've been like bugging Kath to record, and then we sit down to record, and I'm like, I can't deal with this. And so I just want you to know, this has been a really hard. I have 3 surgeries scheduled. Literally, I say within a year, but it's actually within the span of 9 months.
Oh.
So it's like 1 surgery, 3 months, 6 surgery, then 6 months surgery. So that's 9 months, which is a lot to pack in. If this was back surgery, it's a lot to pack in, but this is like major life-changing gender affirming a surgery, which is even harder.
As you all know,
as many of you have been through this. And I packed mine very tightly, and Maybe I didn't need to do that.
Maybe a little too tight.
But that is how it worked out. It wasn't supposed to be that tight, but the legal battle kept pushing back my FFS date.
Right. Yeah.
I had a legal battle. You've heard about it. If you haven't, listen to our previous episodes.
Link down below.
I had a legal battle, and that because of the legal battle and the back and forth with my insurance company, my surgery date kept getting pushed back and back and back and back to the point where it was as far back as it could possibly go.
Mm-hmm. Like borderline, like you talk to your surgeon, like it's okay to get another surgery in a few months. Yeah, it's fine.
My surgeon, my breast dog surgeon. Mm-hmm. Signed off on it. She was fine. Mm. It was literally like, I think they said like they don't want surgeries any less than 3 months apart, and it was fair. It was like 89 days. But again, they signed off on it, and they knew this, and I did go to them and say, kosher, and they were like, kosher, totally kosher, honey. Have another pickle. So,
and my role here is, which I'm glad to have, is to support you through this, through
she's been awesome,
your life, and through the surgeries, and through the podcast, and our team, our listeners, our amazing patrons. But it is also sort of my role to bust your chops.
Yeah,
and at this point, I feel it is necessary. To point out all the privilege of the surgeries that everyone is dying to get. And you got them. You just got them all at once. And it is a lot.
I did. And I do recognize that there is a lot of privilege. Yeah. I remember literally ages ago, probably 15 years ago, sitting on the subway on my commute in the morning and writing out like transition plan ideas in like 2002. With the idea of, like, what these surgeries are going to be and what they were going to cost. With, like, the notion that I didn't know how the fuck I was ever going to pay for them.
Yep.
And
that you are lucky that you are able to get this relatively speedy, able to schedule surgeries American thing, and this relatively lucky able to have insurance pay for your surgeries.
Relatively speedy, I will say there was a 1.5 year waiting list on the GRS.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of the struggles that our friends in the UK have, where they're going to have it paid for, but they're on these waiting lists. Versus the struggle our friends in America have, where, you can set that up sometime this year. We'll look at the calendar and get it started, but they're not sure who's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So
no, I did luck out. I lucked out a lot, and
I don't want to make you feel bad about this, but I'm thinking about our listeners.
And again, I was only able to win the legal battle because of I was lucky that I didn't do anything really on this. I filled out some forms and did a deposition for this legal fight. Community Service Society of New York does pro bono work, and they helped me out a lot. And the staff at Mt Sinai. Who were phenomenal. I sent everyone involved in this thank you notes.
Did you?
I did. I sent them thank you cards.
That's awesome.
Because I was so appreciative. Yeah. And so I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. Again, this was not all my strength. It was a lot of my emotional burden, but it wasn't all my effort. Certainly not even remotely.
Link down below to those awesome resources. If you're not in New York, they might be able to help you find someone similar around you. But, at any rate, that's where we've been. And that's where we'll be. Like, there's another one coming up. I want to say we'll be back to weekly. We're not. Like, right now, we're just not. And that's just how it is.
And I love Gender Rebels, and we both do. And this is obviously, like we said, something that is kind of like the biggest thing we've ever done in our life. And the best thing we've ever done in our life. Yeah. And because of that.
Hope you like it.
And we base that on the number of people who write to us who say, thank you for doing this, or you really helped me, etc., etc. We're not saying that based on our own egos. Also, I'm a terrible person, so the fact that I have at least one good thing in the column might get me into heaven one day. We'll see.
We'll get to that terrible person thing in a bit.
Yeah. So, I just want to say that's where we are, and we are, I do want to gear back up at some point. I just need to kind of have the emotional spoons to do that, and I've got my other surgery coming up in about 3 months. Yeah. A little less than 3 months. Almost exactly 3 months. I'm not sure how it is, but that's coming up very fast.
And you're going to get through that And then we're gonna
get through that, and then maybe I'll be done. And like, what the hell? So that's kind of where we are.
Which brings us to our question for the day.
Yeah. Did you like Birds of Prey? Because I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
What's Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. It's a Harley Quinn movie. I loved it. I saw it Sunday. I loved it.
Did you like Academy Award winner Parasite?
Yeah, she saw Academy Award winner Parasite at the theater while it won the Academy Award.
Y'all, I have a superpower.
We went and saw different movies on Sunday.
Same theater.
At the same theater. But we went at different times. I had a 5:20 Birds of Prey. She had a 9 o'clock Parasite.
Yeah.
But I loved Birds of Prey. How awesome. Parasite, just from a queer point of view, the fact that there could be a movie starring 5 women, 3 of whom are people of color, and 2 of whom are queer, or 2 of whom are the characters are queer, was just awesome.
Sorry, real quick. I can't quite remember. So, did Birds of Prey get the best picture?
We'll find out in March. Because it was released in February of 2020, so it's not eligible until the 2021 Oscars.
Okay, cool. So we're going to pay attention to that. Mm-hmm. But it probably wouldn't be a historical first of like the best picture of a foreign film.
I don't know. I don't know yet.
I mean, well, was it in English?
Let's talk in a year.
Is my question.
Let's talk in a year. Let's talk in a year.
Y'all see Parasite. Freaky. Really cool.
Because it did have an Asian American director, I believe. So.
I'll take it.
That might be a first, actually, for Best Picture. If it does win.
I got a question.
Yeah. What's your question?
I got a question for you, but mostly for our listeners. Everyone listening is, or I'm guessing, knows a trans person and knows the struggle and the difficulty that goes along with it. And that's just like your day-to-day burden, and people cope with it in different ways. And a lot of that burden is how our culture treats you, but also like the pain, the physical pain of surgeries or, I don't know, tucking, binding, the hassle, the uncertainty, the risk, the danger walking down the street. And people cope with it in different ways. Mm-hmm. And I guess my question for you, Faith, is why do you want to be a scam artist? Why do you want to be a con artist? Why is this so appealing to you?
I'm fascinated by grifters.
And you want to be a grifter when you grow up. I
really want to be a grifter when I grow up.
Y'all, listen carefully. I have ethics.
Yeah.
And I am nice to people, and I want the world to be like me. But there are bad people out there. So I do want to make it clear to our listeners that the grifting that Faith has in mind isn't going to be to you, or to poor people, or to nice people.
No, if I had to pick, I would grift on rich people.
Let's talk about your grifts.
So, okay, I've always wanted to be a grifter. As soon as I learned what grifting is like con artistry. It's all those old cons. Like if you saw The Sting or Matchstick Men or
The Grifters with Angelica Houston.
Is that the one with John Cusack?
I think it is. So, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's another one. I think there's one where Sigourney Weaver and Jennifer Love Hewitt are a grifting mother-daughter team.
Mother-daughter thing. Yeah. Did you like what was that Kevin Spacey one?
Probably
Usual Suspects.
That wasn't a grifter. No, that was that's a caper movie, a little different.
Okay.
So grifters, generally confidence artists. Con artist comes from confidence, meaning they tend to get you to put their confidence in them. They get you to trust them. And then they convince you to hand your money over to them. And a part of me I admire it because you're kind of outsmarting people.
Okay.
If you're just sticking a gun in someone's face and saying, give me your money, that doesn't take any finesse or skill or like intelligence.
But it is effective and saves you time.
Incredibly effective.
I want to believe.
But actually, I think con artistry, you could probably get way more money and do way less time if you get caught than if you stick a gun in someone's face. But if you rob a gas station with a gun, you're not only committing robbery, probably kidnapping as well. Plus, using a gun in the commission of a felony is probably an extra 10 years on top of that. So you're looking at probably 25 to 50 years that they're going to throw at you, and the DA is going to try to make a deal. If you're a con artist,
we're guessing, and you have no idea.
We have no idea. And if you're a con artist and you're just convincing people to give you their money, you're probably going to get like 6 years in like a federal summer camp.
So this all...
Again, I'm not a lawyer. I have
no clue what you're talking about. So this all started, didn't all start, but sort of developed into a beautiful blossom, came to fruition, if you will, with not Anna Delvey exactly, but the outfit Anna Delvey wore to court.
A.k.a. Anna Sorokin, a.k.a. the fake heiress.
Was it wannabe heiress? She was in the headlines as that?
Anna Sorokin, Anna Delvey, she basically was a grifter in New York, confidence artist. She convinced people that she was an heiress, a German heiress, worth millions. Stayed in a bunch of hotels.
Lived in hotels.
Expensive hotels, had expensive dinners, etc., etc. I think she got some investor money. Did she get investor money?
I mean, so...
For her foundation?
Her story was, she's this heiress, she lives in this fancy hotel in this fancy neighborhood in Manhattan, eats in restaurants, goes to spas, hires personal trainers, goes shopping, and was hoping to start an arts foundation, and was talking to people about that, but I feel like that was just sort of her cover.
Yeah.
She didn't really put forth a good pitch for that.
No, she pretty much
I think it was mostly credit card fraud.
She pretty much just did credit card fraud and then would convince people she was rich and be like, "Can you pay for dinner and I'll pay you back? My wire from Switzerland didn't come through." Kind of a
problem with the bank.
Yeah.
This card, I didn't call, and now I'm international and my card is frozen. Can you get this and I'll pay you back?
So a lot of that. And so I had seen her photos of her when she was in court.
And she looked stylish. And
she was very stylish.
All black.
There was one particular black dress that I really loved. And we're going to have that's going to be the picture of this episode.
We'll find the image, yeah.
And I loved that dress. And so that kind of got me interested in her. And because I also like grifters, I've always enjoyed grifters. And I've read up on confidence schemes. There's a Wikipedia page that lists like every confidence scheme.
It's actually good to read because then you can kind of see the hints in case you're ever played.
Yeah, there's like things like this Spanish prisoner, there's cake drops, there's different things. And Kath and I, our first podcast we did, those of you who are patrons can find these episodes, was called Fool Me Once. And we were going to go through all these cons and scams and things.
We did an episode on Ponzi, the guy who originated the Ponzi
Charles
scheme.
Ponzi.
We did an episode on selling the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yep.
Did we only do 2 episodes?
No, we also did an episode, I think, on the Spanish prisoner, which is also...
The Nigerian prince.
Nigerian prince, which is the same as Spanish prisoner, which is also sometimes called advance fee fraud.
Yes.
Which is someone says, I've got $1 million, and I just need your help getting it processed. And so if you give me $200, you can have a cut of this.
No, the deal is
$1 million.
I'm going to transfer $1 million to your account. You can transfer $500,000 to me.
That's different. That's a check fraud thing.
Okay.
That is often a Western Union scam.
Yeah.
The Spanish prisoner, which is also the Nigerian prince, is I have a huge treasure. It's called the Spanish prisoner because this con literally originated in like Europe in like the 1700s, and the original story was that there was a famous prince, very, very rich, who knew of a treasure, and he was in prison in Spain. And if you could just pay a little bit of money towards his legal fees, we can get him out and find the treasure, and then you get your share of the treasure.
You get part of the treasure.
And so if you've probably gotten the email from the Nigerian prince, which is, I'm a Nigerian prince, I have $500 million stashed in various bank accounts. If you just send me $5,000 to cover the wire transfer, I'll transfer it to your account, and you keep 10% of it.
If you haven't received this email, check your spam folder. It's there.
It was bigger in like 2005, I think. I think email filters have filtered it out a lot.
Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of...
A bank in the UK actually fell for it to the tune of like $20 million that they kept forwarding to this guy.
Yep.
And so it's like, anyway, there's all these scams. I love these scams. And a part of me has always wanted to run one. Mm-hmm. There's actually a thing, I mentioned cake drops.
What's a cake drop?
A cake drop is where the name comes from you're carrying a cake. It could also be a bottle of liquor. It could be sometimes, it's called a spec drop when you have glasses.
Okay.
And you're wearing your glasses. Someone bumps into you because you set it up that they're going to bump into you. Mm-hmm. You drop the cake. And you're like, oh no, my boss gave me $50 to buy this cake for the company. And I can't buy it out of my own bank account because I'm poor. And I spent all the last money on my last dollar on my mom's medicine, and I'm gonna get fired if I don't go back to the office with a cake, and can you please just help me out? People do that on the New York City subway, and they often do spec drops with the glasses, but they get like really angry and belligerent like immediately, and they're doing it wrong.
Because the right way to do it is just say, oh, my cake. I'm sad. Yeah. And then you wait for someone to say, oh, here's $50. Go get another cake.
Or even you can be like, you can even ask for it, but you have to play very, very sad. And you can even be like, oh my God, my boss is going to scream at me. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to, oh my God, I hope it doesn't hit me again. And, you've got to, but see, one of the biggest things, in con artistry. So I thought about doing a cake drop. I thought about just, buying a cake and like doing this and seeing if I could actually pull it off. But one of the things they say about being a good con artist is that the con artist has to show that they trust the mark. Mm-hmm. The mark is the victim. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that they'll do, and be wary of this, is that if in this situation, someone's like, here, can you hold my wallet for a second?
Hold my wallet for me.
It might not even be the real wallet.
I'm going to go, it's clearly not the real wallet. I'm going to go do a thing in a place where I can't have my wallet. Will you hold it for me?
Or even, or it can even be while you're picking up the cake or something. Mm-hmm. It could be, oh, can you hold my purse for a second? It's because this is actually one of the biggest psychological tricks you can pull on someone is to show that you trust them, which kind of, in a psychology sense, makes them instantly trust you.
Because we trust each other. Obviously, you wouldn't have given me your wallet or your purse or your phone or your child if we didn't trust each other.
Yeah, so that kind of, it's when as soon as you trust them, you let your guard down. Mm-hmm. So it's something to be aware of. So I've never done this, but I thought about like, maybe I could just buy a cake and go do a cake drop and see.
Here's the problem.
What?
What if you're really good at it?
Yeah.
But you do it to someone who is sad and needy, and the last thing they need is a skilled and sexy con artist dropping a cake and taking their last $50 because they think you
So there's a few reasons I'm not going to do this. And I'll go through those reasons.
But you are, though.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm not actually going to do it. I think about it, but I'm not going to do it, and I'll go through those reasons now. One of them is the reason you use it. I would rather scam Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
All right.
If I could be sure it was some ultra-wealthy Wall Street asshole, I would say cake drop until your head falls off.
I will scam the fuck out of Zuckerberg. All right? I will scam the fuck out of Elon Musk.
Okay.
And then I'll hang out with his girlfriend because she's awesome.
But, and then you'll never get near them.
I know.
So what we need to know...
Some Wall Street assholes
who are assholes.
Yeah.
And you need to pinpoint assholes.
And then what we would... So the other reason, and I'll go into some other... But that's one of the things. I would rather scam the assholes. I don't want to scam people who are victimized by society. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who are victimized by the system because the system is unfair and it sucks. And it is really, really biased toward the top 1% or even the 1% of the 1%. Two, I worry that being trans makes me stand out more.
So, okay. So this is the question. Does a con artist have to be forgettable?
I think they do.
Do they, though?
I think they do.
Because Anna Delvey wasn't forgettable, and as far as I can
she's
think
like any random 5'5" brunette running around. She stayed
in the same hotels and scammed the same restaurants and the same people. Like, I don't know.
So that's another thing. I'm like, maybe being trans would just kind of
Then you're assuming you're visibly trans, also.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Let's
hold that
whole
point.
Other episode.
Hold that point because we'll record that in our next episode.
Yeah, stay tuned.
And the next thing I think is that I tend to be an introvert. And so I think you have to kind of be an extrovert to be a good grifter.
I wonder about that because extroverts need to be around people, which I think might translate into they care what people think about them. They want people to like them. You are actually free from that particular burden. You don't care if someone starts screaming at you, you asshole, you're trying to pull a cake drop on me.
Yeah, that I just get off the train and go to the next stop.
Like, how hurt would your feelings be? Not very,
at all. Yeah,
exactly.
I would be like, shoot, I screwed up the cake drop.
Now, I don't know if that means an extrovert's feelings would be hurt if they were thinking of being besties with the mark. Probably not. But, like, I want to hear from the listeners. I want y'all to vote. Comment, talk to us on Facebook, tweet at us. Let us know if we could guarantee that it's a shitty Wall Street finance bro.
1%er.
And we can find people like that. We have friends who work in those offices. Should Faith try this? Just for the fun of it? Or nah, because it's literally a crime.
It is not necessarily a crime because the thing about grifting is that you should always have a plausible... The cops can't prove that your story isn't true.
Okay, but like literally we all know, and this episode is the greatest confession any cop would have ever found.
Yeah, but the cops aren't going to find this episode.
Hey, listeners, please vote on that too. Are the cops going to find this episode? Are you going to tell them?
A cake drop, you're going to get $50 from some rando.
No, some cakes in New York. Oof. You could get 200.
All right, fine. You're going to get $200 from some rando.
From Jonathan the tech bro.
And then if you get caught doing that, you know how much the NYPD cares about $200? Nothing.
Depends on what color you are.
It's not like a black person just trying to steal $2.75 by hopping a subway turnstile.
It's not funny. It's actually the most fucked up thing.
It is actually. New York City has a really fucked up police system.
Yeah.
Actually, the entire United States has a really fucked up police system. I don't support it.
I support good cops because they're the only ones who can stop bad cops, but y'all need to start making that happen. At any rate, speaking of things I don't know what I'm talking about, we would love to hear from you about grifts you have tried or fallen victim to. I fell victim once. I'm not proud of it, but I really wanted that apartment.
She got the apartment scam.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
I should have known there were so many red flags. At any rate, should Faith become a grifter? We want to hear from you. I hope you vote no, because I don't want her to go to prison, because that's just going to be
I don't want to go to prison at all, because I feel like I would not like anything about prison at all.
No, you wouldn't like anything about prison?
No.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
Zero thing?
Apparently it's quite loud and the food sucks and you get no privacy. I don't want that at all.
That's the point. To make people not grift. Fucking cake drop. Anyway.
Cake drop, you.
Maybe you could start small and you could do like a cupcake drop.
There you go.
To a shitty child.
Can anyone give me $2?
Let's just see how that goes.
I'll do that on Wall Street. I'll go down to Wall Street. Can anyone
cupcake?
I need $2.89 for a cupcake.
Someone will get slightly mad at me because I dropped my cupcake.
Please, $2.89. Oh wait, it's New York. $5.89.
My boss will give me a dirty look if I come back without it.
Don't make me charge him $5.89 out of my own pocket. Please, somebody right. I think that voice would help.
Shut you up. Give you whatever money you need to please stop screaming.
Oh, God, mister. You can't give me $5.89. How much am I going to replace this cupcake? Oh, that voice alone, I think, should be winning people over left and right.
Grifting.
You know what would be good? Like a meatball sandwich drop.
No, then you'd lose a meatball sandwich. You gotta think about this.
No. You get a cheap meatball sandwich from Subway, put it in like a generic wrapper. And then you're like, oh no, my meatball sandwich from Vanetti's. I went all the way to Ridgewood, Queens for that. It's like the most famous meatball sandwich shop, and my boss is gonna kill me.
That feels like the shittiest viral marketing ever. Like, not a Vanetti's meatball sub! Oh no!
Allow me
from Vanetti's!
I got an Instagram about this. Hashtag Vanetti's is best. Except, that'd be something shitty like Wendy's or something.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be Vanetti's. It'd be like, Wendy's has meatball sandwiches.
No, now I want to combine hyping a restaurant I like with your cake drop.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a 12-pack of Sticky's chicken fingers.
Yeah,
drop.
Sticky's chicken fingers are fantastic.
They're actually really good.
They didn't pay us, but they want to pay us. I'll take their money.
We'll take your money. Or pay us in chicken fingers.
Yeah.
A 12-pack of Sticky's chicken fingers all over the ground. I went all the way out to East Midtown for these. Oh, my God. I need my $22.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the perfect grift. Mm-hmm. Give a little boost to Sticky's. Get yourself $22.
Convince Sticky's it's viral marketing and then pocket the stuff myself. Get paid 2 ways. You're good at grifting. We should just screw the podcast. Let's just become grifters.
So this has been the last episode of the Gender Rebels because we've decided to stop confessing our brilliant crimes via podcast.
Check back in next week for the Grifter Rebels.
If we could get a microphone in prison, we're going to come right at you and warn you away from the grifting
There is.
life.
How else does Ed Kemper record his audiobooks?
This is true. There is a prison podcast. It is called Ear Hustle. A lot of people like it very much. Link down below. Yeah, please don't grift.
Okay.
You're just bad. You would not be good in jail.
I would not be good in jail. I don't want to go to jail at all.
And if you flee, that's a whole nother episode. What are you going to do if you flee the country?
I don't want to go to jail because, I feel like when they arrest you, they make you, hang out in the back of the squad car, all day.
Really?
And I'd have to pee.
Yeah.
Because I'm on...
That's your biggest concern.
No, that's one of several concerns. I'm on Spyro, and so... No, I already mentioned the food and the lack of privacy.
And the noise.
Apparently
the smell is really bad.
I heard that.
Orange is New Black book. They talk about it a lot. Link down below. It's actually better than the show. But the show's pretty good too. Anyway, thanks for listening.
I hated Piper.
Everyone hated Piper.
Piper ruined the show for me.
That was the point. You're supposed to love everyone else.
No, but I hated the show because I hated Piper so much.
Your loss.
I couldn't keep watching. I only watched 3 episodes because I hated Piper so much.
The rest of us were watching...
I know.
What's her name?
All the other ones.
No, but what's her name? The
Laverne
hot
Cox.
One. No, the smoking hot one. Come on.
The Scientologist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Laura Prepon.
Okay.
You were distracted by
No, there's a whole cast of talented people.
Anyway.
It was actually a very talented cast of people. They had Kate Mulgrew, they had Laverne Cox, as I mentioned. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of good people on that show.
Well, thanks for listening to the Orange is the New Black podcast, featuring one person who hates the show. We will talk to you next time, everybody.
All right, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com. Or find us on Twitter @TheGenderRebels.
Music for The Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Follow the link down below or download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
The Gender Rebels is a Comeback Sync production. Copyright 2020. All rights reserved.
And to all you gender rebels out there, keep rebelling.
Bye.
Bye.
about this, but I'm thinking about our listeners.
And again, I was only able to win legal battle because of, pause for a second. We'll delete this pause. I just want to say
Hi, Rocket, you're such a cute boy. You're such a sweet little dog. You were made of brown velvet, love and hunger.
I was lucky that, I didn't do anything really on this. I filled out some forms and did a deposition for this legal fight.